Alright, so we are going to try to figure out how to use the website IXL. So once you've got your internet provider open, you can just click on the search panel up at the top. And then you can type in the letters IXL and it should be enough to help you find it. Okay, so you get to a page that looks like this. Up at the top of the page here, you can see there's a spot for your username with a password and then hit sign in. So you're going to use the username that I have emailed you and the password that I gave you, and then you're going to hit sign in. Okay, and then it brings you straight to your recommendation wall. So it starts out with recommendations. You'll see the star here. It says 8 skills suggested by your teacher. So some of you might have 8, some of you might have a different number. And then you'll notice there's a little teeny tiny arrow beside that. So if you click on that, it's going to give you the skills that I've suggested, the ones that match what we've been working on the last week. So we can figure out one of these. So maybe we'll try what decimal is illustrated. Okay, so it's bringing up a question. Now up at the top of the page, you can see it's got a spot that shows you how many questions you've answered, shows you how much time you've taken to do it, and then it gives you this thing called a SMART score. So it's not an exact number of questions that you've got correct, but it's just a score to see what your understanding of that topic is. Okay, so for each question, beside the question, it's got this little symbol, and it'll actually read out the question for you. So if you're having a hard time with the words they're using for the questions, don't panic, just push that button, it'll talk for you. Okay, so what decimal is illustrated? Count by 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. Okay, so I've got 64 100ths, looks like that. Yay, I got it correct, have fun. Okay, so you can see that my SMART score has gone up to 19. So it doesn't mean I've answered 19 questions. I've only actually answered 2 questions, but it's confident that I've got 19 worth of smarts in this department. Okay. So as I answer more questions correctly, my SMART score goes up. Your goal for each of the skills is to get a SMART score of at least 80. So that tells me and tells you that you really understand that topic. Now what happens if we get something wrong? It's actually going to let you know if you get the answer wrong, and it tells you what the correct answer is, and then you can go down here and it'll actually explain why your answer is not quite right. Okay, so there's 100 squares and there are 80 colored squares. So the picture shows 80 100ths. So as we write 80 100ths as a decimal, we can use a place value chart. And the answer is there. Okay, so then you've got it, and I'll give you another question and you can give it another go and keep moving. And so again, your goal is to get that SMART score up to 80. All right, so you can keep working through the different questions, or once you get to 80, you can actually, once you get to 80, go to the challenge and try to get 100. Or once you get to 80, then you can just click this little lines here, and learning is what we want to be able to do. And it'll take you back to your recommendation wall. And again, where it's got that star and it says 8 skills suggested by your teacher, so if you want to try a different skill, then you can click on that and pick a different one that I've suggested. So again, I'm suggesting these ones because they're connected to what we've been working on, and I want to make sure that you understand each of these ones up to at least a SMART score of 80. Okay? You can click on it again to hide those. It'll also give you a few other options if you want to try something different, like maybe you want to go back and practice multiplying. Maybe you want to practice writing decimals or other numbers in expanded form. We haven't done adding decimals yet, but we will, coming soon to a virtual classroom near you. All right, and then again, you can always just go back up to the top and click on those skills that I've suggested. So you can see here on this one, I managed to get to a SMART score of 100 on this one. I won a medal. So you can challenge yourself and see if you can do that as well. Here's the other one that we did. So I've got up to a SMART score of 46. So if you don't have time to get all the way to 80 on a score on one of the skills, is you could just leave it and go away and then come back and we can click on it again. And it remembers that you've got up to 46, and so you can just keep adding to that score. Okay, and of course, always, if you, oh, we got one wrong. Okay, if you have any questions, then you can always send me an email. We can set up a time that we can Zoom or Skype about something. All right, take care. Happy learning.